Most dental software programs don't really have a solution for claiming medical codes to insurance. Luckily, MOGO does. Not only are you able to enter medical codes, both CPT and ICD, not only are you able to print the medical claim forms, MOGO makes the whole process simple and easy. Now, the process for medical claims comes down to 4 parts. Setting up your patient's medical insurance, setting up your ICD and CPT codes, entering the medical codes, and filing the claim. If you have used MOGO before, it's likely that you've entered a patient's dental insurance before. Well, to make things painless for you, the process for medical insurance is exactly the same. For those of you who have entered insurance before, bear with me while we go over it for those who have not. To enter a patient's medical insurance, launch their patient information screen. You should see the information for the patient's employer and insurance, their dental insurance, at the bottom. To add a secondary insurance, simply click on the link icon to choose the employer. Since, in this scenario, the medical insurance is provided by the same employer as the dental, we will choose the employer again. The Select Insurance Plan window will open, with the existing plans linked to that employer. Since we are adding a new plan, we need to click on the link icon again. From the insurance company list, select the appropriate insurance carrier. From the group plan list, either select the medical plan, if it's already created, or click on the new icon to create a new medical group plan. Enter all of the applicable information for the plan. Once you have completed the plan information, click OK to select the plan for the patient. Back on the patient information screen, you can see that the patient now has their medical insurance listed as their secondary. Now, let's take a look at setting up the CPT and ICD codes. The Current Procedural Terminology, or CPT code, is a medical code maintained by the American Medical Association. The International Classification of Diseases, or ICD code, is the U.S. health system's alphanumeric code to describe diagnoses. In order to file your medical claims, both the CPT and ICD codes need to be entered on the transaction screen and linked together. More on that later. From the patient lookup list, you can launch your service code list by going to the Go-To menu and choosing Service Codes. On the left column, the last 2 options are CPT and ICD. By clicking on either button, you can see the list of those codes that are already entered in MOGO. To create a new code, click on the List button at the bottom. On the service code list, click on the New icon at the top left. Enter the code, description, and applicable fees, along with any other information you have been provided. The code type and category will pre-fill to Charge and CPT. At the bottom of the window, you should click on the No to All checkbox, but change Date to Yes. Once the information is all entered, click on OK. You can see that your new service code is now showing on the CPT list. To create your ICD code, click on the box next to CPT at the bottom of the screen. This will bring up the list of service code categories. Select ICD and create the code the same way we did for the CPT code. Now that the codes are set up, let's take a look at how to enter and link the CPT and ICD codes in the transaction screen. To enter the codes, double-click on an empty code field to bring up the service code list. Select the CPT category and choose our code. Repeat for the ICD code. After choosing OK, you will be prompted for the date for both codes. After choosing the dates, you will see your codes listed on the transaction screen. The CPT code will display the same way as a normal service code, while the ICD code will be highlighted in gray. A common mistake that some offices make is to jump directly to the insurance claim. Before we do that, we have one more step, linking the CPT and ICD codes together. To do this, right-click on the CPT code and choose Edit Diagnosis Treatment Linking. The code we entered will pre-fill on the top of the window, and our list of available ICD codes will be in the center section. You can filter your choices to view all diagnostic codes, those that are unlinked only, or those that were entered on today's date. Select the correct diagnoses and click on Add Link. The code will move down to the bottom section, indicating that it is the one selected. If the code was added by accident, you can remove it using this button. Once the correct diagnosis is in the bottom section, click on Done to return to the transaction screen. Our patient has medical insurance, our CPT and ICD codes are created, entered, and linked, so our last step is to file the medical claim. To file the claim, click on the insurance icon to bring up the transaction selection for insurance form screen. If you are filing a claim for only medical codes, nothing special is needed. Choose both the CPT and ICD codes and click on the OK hand. If you are filing a claim for both medical and dental codes, but want the claim to be done on the medical claim form, make sure to check off the box next to Claim All Treatment on Medical Form. This will bring up the Healthcare Finance Administration, or HCFA, form window. We need to choose from the 7 options on the first row: Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, formerly known as the Civilian Health and Medical Program of the Uniformed Services, or CHAMPUS, Civilian Health and Medical Program of the Department of Veterans Affairs, or CHAMPVA, Group Health Plan, which is the most common selection and the default, Federal Employees Compensation Act, FECA, or Other. For Claim 2, we will want to choose Insurance Plan 2, since that is our medical insurance. This section is applicable to government claims, so you would need to provide this if necessary. The information for the billing practice will pre-fill, as will the NPI number. If there was a referring provider, they would be selected here. The address section at the bottom refers to where the services were rendered. If your ICD code is an ICD-9 code, you can change that option here, but generally, this should always be on ICD-10. Before we look at printing, let's click on the Options button. This information is used for the claim itself. If the doctor uses their social security number as the federal identification number instead of the employer identification number, it can be changed here. We can set whether the billing name is the provider or the practice. Generally, you will want the insurance payment option to be signature on file, so that you receive the payment from the insurance company directly. If you choose payment to patient, the insurance company will send the payment to the patient instead. Choose how many copies to print. This section is only applicable if you are using the pre-printed HCFA form, and it helps align the form so that it prints out correctly. Click on Done to return to the main HCFA screen. As just mentioned, if you have the pre-printed HCFA form, you are able to print the claim information that way by clicking Print on Form. If you choose the print option, the entire form will print. Either way, the claim is now created and can be sent to the insurance company for payment.